Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I bet.
Yeah. It'll get sour real fast.
Just a reminder, mics go live right about in a minute.
Okay.
Right now, when my notification hits that the YouTube stream is live. You and your advanced gadgets. Who are you, Inspector Gadget?
That's right, I got a happy birthday from a bank I deal with, and they said, just for your birthday trivia, bought a coffee the day you were born, it was 37 cents. And the top box office hit was Cleopatra. Oh, wow. Wow, that's good customer service.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know.
And gas was probably $0.25 a gallon.
Right.
Yeah, that's one thing. Gas was $5 a gallon up there,
On Hawaii.
or like $4.80.
Wow.
Oh, they were still selling kerosene.
It makes you appreciate when you come home.
Yeah.
Your own home. And
That's true.
it's always good to go away, but it's even better to come back. Sometimes.
Outside was okay, but any public place you had.
Get back in the swing.
I had to tell you I was on the phone with Isaac.
The frowny face. There's a smiling face for you, though.
Do this, and this, right there. Okay. That was something like this.
Just a heads up, you understand all these people here. A lot of these people are like, part of the group. Okay.
Yeah. She's gonna introduce him.
Oh, okay, good.
Pretty friendly crowd tonight.
Over under on Mr. Bay. Separate pot.
5.5. 5.5. What do you say?
And there were 6.
Going 5:30.
Yeah, because you know it won't be under.
Y'all ready? Good enough. I'd like to call this Tuesday, September 7th, 2021 meeting of the Oldsmar City Council to order. Please rise. The next two items on the agenda are the invocation and pledge of allegiance, which will be led by our city attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Our Heavenly Father, we meet to serve our community, to use our resources wisely and well, to represent all members of our community fairly, and to make decisions that promote the common good. We recognize our responsibility to the past and the future, as well as the rights and needs of both the individual and our community. As trusted servants, we seek blessings on our deliberations and on our efforts here today. This we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. The next item on the agenda is the citizens' open forum. We only have a few rules. One, we ask you not speak longer than 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Little inside joke there. We ask you to state your name and your address. Please include the city. We don't want to assume you're from our city, but you're certainly welcome here if you're not. And the last is that we ask you not speak to any item that is a public hearing tonight, which would be items 7 and 9. So I'm going to go ahead and start on this side of the room. Is there anybody who'd like? Mayor Beaverland? And, oh, also, item number 10 is a public hearing. That's it? Oh, I missed it. Thank you, sir. Oh, yeah.
Well, are you on time me now?
I'm timing you.
All right.
Mayor and council, I want to thank you all for what you all do, and I want to thank Tom again for his prayers. They're always incredible. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I've lived in the city for 56 years, and it's taken me 50 years to finally culminate what I'm going to talk to you all tonight about in 4.5 minutes. I wrote the 4 books on the history of Ozma, you all know that. Well, I just completed 8 volumes of paper, 8 volumes about this thick.
Wow.
And I think I have got the history of Oldsmar. I think you've seen them. If you want to know something about the history of Oldsmar, all you got to do is go to the books. What I'm doing with help, by the way, happy birthday, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'm having the 8 volumes printed, and I'm giving the 8 volumes to the council chair of each councilman. So you'll have them, and the city manager will have one, if she's nice. and then the city clerk will have one, and the library will have one. It's comprehensive, it's all there, and I'm weary of it. I'll probably never write anything again in my life on the history of Oldsmar. But each one of you have one of these, and each book I've put in there, in that particular book, the written history and the photographs. I'm going to lie to you now. I got between 500 and 1,000 photographs of the history of Oldsmar. Be in there. Like the story of Tampa Bay Downs, they didn't have their history until I wrote it for them. February of 1926. And book 2, warn me, Ann. Back when the Civic Club gave us the land for the library. If you travel over Forest Lakes Boulevard going to Racetrack Road, you go over tracks that's been there since 1949, railroad tracks. And very few people know what the tracks are for. If you want to know, you can read it, what the tracks are for. And someday I hope we get those tracks for a trail, I hope, okay? They should give them to us. I've got a little bit of history of every subdivision in our city, every one of them, a little bit of history of how they started and how they got here. Forest Lakes, 1980. And it was in the county and not the city. And I was accused of killing the redevelopment history or the redevelopment project here in town in 1990. And you can read how I actually saved it. And the mayor at that time says, "Well, you did, didn't you?" I said, "Yeah, because y'all was about to throw it away." Yeah, about the little bridge, and we have an annexation here in town. You can find it somewhere in here. Nobody actually knew about it. It was not a big hullabaloo. It was 110 acres. It took me 18 months to persuade the lady that owned it. She annexed the city of Oldsmar, and I come and told the city manager at the time, I said, "Be prepared. the land attorney, I think, is going to come to the city and ask for annexation. And she never thought she'd ever annex to the city of Oldsmar. 110 acres. Incredible land. Mayor, I think I'm finished. Did I do okay?
You did good.
Good job.
Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Go home. Great night.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. This is awesome.
Hard work.
This is awesome.
Can't wait to see it.
Anybody else on this side of the room? This side of the room. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you. Come on up. That's all right. That's okay.
I have an old ordinance.
Wait till you get up to the mic so people can hear you.
I wanted to talk about an ordinance 2021-23. I think it was 3 weeks ago.
Okay?
My name is Vincent Benedetti.
Okay.
It's about the kids riding the bicycles. My girlfriend's son, he rides bikes, big group of people.
I'm sorry, did you give your address?
No, I didn't.
Can you give your address for the record? We have everybody, you give your name, address.
My name is Vincent Benedetti. My personal residence is 1916 Park Ave in Tarpon Springs.
Cool, thank you.
Her son lives at 30.
You don't have to give that.
Okay.
If we just do it for the records, we're required.
He had just told me about it, and I was curious if there was any way to modify this ordinance for him, that when they ride a bicycle or motorized bicycle on the roadway, if they pop a wheelie, that their bike can be confiscated by the sheriff's department.
I don't believe it's that simple. I think it has to do with being reckless.
Reckless, popping wheelies. I printed it up offline.
You know, I think the interpretation by the SO would be if they're popping a wheelie driving towards a car.
Okay,
And we've had multiple contact with that child.
okay,
Multiple documentation where they've had a written warning. We try to reach out to the parents, we talk to the parents, we talk to the kid, explain the severity of them popping wheelies. The issue we were having is they were popping wheelies in front of cars, at cars.
okay.
As a parent, we would want that.
Yeah. So anyhow,
I
I'm gonna
understand.
keep us back on to
Is that
your
just one
comments.
kid
Thank
that
you.
was warned?
Sorry?
Was that just one kid that was warned?
I believe there was multiple kids that were riding in groups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
it became a big problem that the city council got a lot of comments on. Go ahead, I don't want to eat up your
But
time.
I just, not having kids, I remember when I was a kid, it seems to be that they're gonna do it whether or not there's an ordinance about it or not. He had just told me about it and I just was taken back that a law would be passed like that, that the bike can get confiscated and they can get a ticket. I just see it as a way for the kids to get a bad relationship with the sheriff's department, which today's kids don't have a good relationship with cops. You know how it is. You just watch the news today. It's just, they're going to do it either way. And if one of the kids gets their bikes taken away, I don't know. I don't think it's going to fix the problem. I just think it's going to create a problem with the relationship with kids in the sheriff's office. I would imagine that they would let them go if they got, or, stopped by a cop, maybe get scolded. But one of them's going to mouth off to the cop and the cop's going to take their bike away to teach them a lesson. And in my opinion, all that's going to do is give them a bad taste in their mouth towards law enforcement. So, I don't know. You guys are intelligent people. To me, it seems a little ridiculous of a law. I mean, kids ride bikes. They're not going to ride safely on the side of the road like they should. But that's what they do today. They pop wheelies. So it's kind of, in my opinion, not going to change anything. Except I know the officer over there is probably disagreeing with me, but I remember when I was a kid and their big thing was skateboarding. They wanted to ban kids from riding skateboards. And at that time, when I was that age, you feel it's infringement on your liberty. I just think it's a ridiculous ordinance. So we have a tendency when we get older to forget what it's like to be a kid. it's easy just to point the finger when you're an adult. Yes, we do get more mature, and we do look out for our kids getting hurt. Every time they pop a wheelie, I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna crack their head open. But they're being kids. So it specifies motorized bicycle and bicycle. Now, we know these electric bikes that they have out now, they do like 30 miles an hour. Those things I can understand being ticketed or confiscated, but not bicycles that kids are powering themselves. So I didn't know if her son wanted me to come and represent him, if they could modify that to being strictly the motorized bicycles, the electric ones that are out now. I mean, those things fly and they're silent. You don't hear them coming. But maybe just put yourselves in their shoes and remember what it was like to be a kid. And kids are going to do dangerous things. I understand that they might get hit by a car. I could see this being a big issue if they're doing it on the side of 19 or Tampa Road. But in residential neighborhoods, I don't think it should be illegal for them to pop a wheelie. They're just going to do it either way. So, you know, I don't want to see him get hurt, but it just baffled me when he told me about this ordinance. So just maybe remember what it was like to be a kid.
Thank you, thank you. I also, I will say this to you, though, just so you can go back. I would encourage you to go back and watch when the ordinance was actually discussed, because I don't think you're getting the full information.
I
There's a lot more
just
to it.
printed it up online.
No, I don't mean the ordinance, but the discussion around it.
Okay.
And it would probably fill in a lot of blanks. If not, go to the website, send me an email. I'm happy to share the time with you.
All right,
Okay.
I'll check it out.
Very good, thank you. Anybody on this side of the room? All right, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close the citizens' open forum. I'm sorry. I'm like trying to get the train going tonight. I don't know why. Come on up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. Some of you know me, some of you don't. I got it. I can hear this.
He's done this once or twice.
Getting coached. Okay. Good evening. My name is Gerald Jacobs, and I live at 7716 Brettonwood Drive in Tampa. And I'm here as part of the Upper Tampa Bay Education Foundation. This is our 15th year. And I'm one of the charter board members of that, and I'm really excited to get a chance to come here. And thank you very much for the donation that you have given to us to help us further the education of the kids in our community. The things that we do, we feel that are really important. This is why I've kept doing it for 15 years. It's meaningful. We're making a difference in children's lives. Told you it was going to take 5 minutes.
And Gerald is our chair this year, so I just wanted to make sure you all knew that. And he's got a lot of energy that he's bringing to it. Yes, we do scholarships, and we have an endowment that was set up that funds that. And we also fund grants to elementary and middle schools. And so that is what most of our fundraising efforts go to. So one of those, you see a little tiny flyer. Yeah. That is an online drawing that we're having. One of our wonderful sponsors, Nielsen, has donated tickets to the Bucks-Dolphins game on October 10th. And as you guys know, all the Bucks games are sold out, but you have a chance to enter and possibly win these great seats to that game. So there's a little QR code. It's all going to be done online, and we encourage you to enter for that. So the funds raised for that will go toward funding grants for elementary and middle schools. And those grants are not discretionary, so the schools can choose what they use the funds for. It's not a lot of paperwork that they have to fill out. Gerald, tell them about the computers and the...
Oh, yeah. Some of the interesting things that we've done. These grants, we give them $600 to each school, and the $600 comes with no strings attached. And what we found out over the years is every dollar that comes into the schools has got strings attached to it. They've got certain things they're allowed to spend it on and nothing else, and that's it. So they're left with a lot of items that there's no funding for. To give you for instance, we have an elementary school that we gave a $600 donation to, It seems that the school board, in their infinite wisdom, bought them quite a large number of tablet computers for their robotics course and their STEM course. But they didn't buy them charging stations. I know, go figure. We gave them $600, and the charging stations from Walmart cost $590. Go figure. These are some of the things that we've been able to do over the years to help fund these schools for things that they need that they can't get any other way. One school needed a camera, a middle school needed a camera for their newsletter. They didn't have a digital camera. They purchased a rather nice one for that kind of money. And the list goes on and the stories go on, and the variety of things that they do with the money is just simply amazing. And every one of those things fills a need in that school.
So we will be at the second Friday. We'll have a booth set up for community members that want to find out more. And we'll also, of course, be doing our raffle, passing out the flyers that you have. And the website is utbef.org. I wrote it down because sometimes the letters all get jumbled together.
Perfect. It's large.
So you can go there and find out more also if anyone's interested in sponsoring a STAR grant or entering the drawing. Everything you need to know is there.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you
good.
again. We
Very good.
appreciate it.
All right, anybody else on this side of the room? Seeing none, I'm gonna go ahead and close the citizens open forum. Next item on the agenda is Community Minute, which will be announced by our city clerk, Ann Nixon.
Yeah, so some things are all wet, including the Spray Park reopening. Friday, September 10th, 5 to 7 for free. Cypress Forest Rec Center, 650 Pine Avenue North. And then Good Morning Oldsmar, Friday, September 17th. From 6 to 10 in the morning. Tune in to ABC Action News, Channel 28. They will be broadcasting live from Oldsmar at various locations throughout the morning. And of course, well, September 21st, we'd love to meet you here, but we're not going to be here. We've actually moved it to September 22nd, the next council meeting. So if you're here, you'd end up waiting a long time, and it gets hot in this room. So if you'd like to see us again at the next council meeting, please come by on the 22nd. That's a Wednesday, and happy birthday.
Thank you. That's after 72, huh?
Right? You
That's
were great.
it. All right, next item on the agenda is approval of addition of new agenda items. We have item 4 and 14. Anybody wish to pull anything? Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Senton, you're ready to vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Next item on the agenda, awards and recognition, presentation of Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budgeting Presentation Award to the City of Oldsmar. Our city manager, Al Braithwaite, will be presenting that. Let's give him applause.
Sorry, I was faking pain. This is the award from the Government Finance Officers Association. And as you can see, we've got it quite a few years in a row. We're missing the most recent button. You can all hear me, right? Thank you. So tonight, I'm very proud of this since I come from administrative services. And this award for the 8th year in a row is to our Administrative Services Department, most of whom are here. You want to come up? Hello, now you want to use it?
Yeah, because they won't be able to hear you on the stream.
Sorry. First thing I said, we're just going to go, hello. Better?
Better.
Thank you. All right. Cindy, you want to hold? No, you don't want to hold this, do you? It weighs more than she does. All right, I did want to read a little bit of something to explain what it is and what it means. The Government Finance Officers Association, or as we know, GFOA, of the United States and Canada has awarded the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award to the City of Oldsmar for the current year, 2021. This award is the highest form of recognition in governmental budgeting. It reflects the commitment of the governing body and staff to meet the highest principles of governmental budgeting. This is the 8th consecutive year the city has earned the prestigious national award and reflects the vision, dedication, and work ethic of the Administrative Services Department. Special recognition is in order for the budget team members who work diligently to create this award-winning document. The team members include Garrett Zeliff, where's your hand, G? John Dauphiné, Amy Ratliff, Barbara Schulte, who likes to be called Barbaric since her husband's name is Eric. And she was also the creative genius behind the stunning artwork and the graphics on the actual document, and they're absolutely fabulous. You might not get the total effect. Do they show on the website, or is the ADA kind of ruined that part?
It's on there now.
Okay, so if you really want to take a look at the document, look at the website. It's very, very impressive. And our Director of Administrative Services, Cindy Nano, who's been saving my bacon for over 20 years, was the initial creator of the decision to go after this and get it. And the reason it's so important is there's 2 awards that the GFOA gives away. The other one's called Distinguished Financial Reporting. Is that the name of it? It's the accounting one, and we've gotten that for 30 years in a row. So Cindy decided we didn't have enough to do, and so we decided to go after this one. Her staff made it all happen. The actual press release, I'll just read a quick little bit from it, is GFOA press release. The award represents a significant achievement by the entity. It reflects the commitment of the governing body and staff to meet the higher principles. We already talked about that. These guidelines are designed to assess how well an entity's budget serves as a policy document, a financial plan, an operations guide, a communications device. Budget documents must be rated proficient in all 4 categories and in 14 mandatory criteria within those categories to receive the award. When a distinguished budget presentation award is granted to an entity, a certificate of recognition for budget presentation is also presented to the individuals or department designated as being primarily responsible for having achieved the award. In this case, this has been presented to our Administrative Services Department. There are over 1,600 participants in the Budget Award program. The most recent Budget Award recipients, along with their corresponding budget documents, are posted quarterly on the GFOA website. Award recipients have pioneered efforts to improve the quality of budgeting and provide an excellent example for other governments throughout North America. This is just another case of how once I got out of a department, everything improved. So congratulations, and you want to introduce again or talk or yell,
Okay.
or what would you like?
Yeah, I did want to take a moment again to introduce our talented budget staff, the team members. Each one plays a very specific and important role in the budget process. And together they work as an outstanding team. Barbara Schulte, she's our the creative genius, as Al had mentioned. Amy Ratliff, she's our Excel master. John Dauphiné, management analyst, and Garrett Zeliff, our finance administrator. So, all right, and thank you, council, for giving us a great city to represent.
I want you all to know that we had an Excel contest on our staff because I saw there was a lot more experts, and I paid the prize out of my pocket. All right, who won? Ratliff won.
Of course.
We do have some experts, which is kind of scary. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I got to put my mask on, sorry.
Everyone smile. Thank you.
Great job, you guys. Great job.
Terrific job. You know, it's funny, we get a little spoiled up here of them getting recognized for this every year.
Every year.
But, and sometimes, I know it's coming, I now like expect them to get recognized. I hadn't seen the document yet, you know, but I know they haven't even put it out yet. Then it comes out and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I mean, it's just, you know, at a time when the city really excels in transparency in every department, finance is one of those areas that, you know, it's good to be able to put your hands on and understand stuff. And it never fails. I'll have a question, and before I go ask it, I will pull that document out and find the answer, and it makes me feel like I'm smart, like I knew it, but it's in my you know, my budget Bible, if you will. So congratulations. Good job. Good job. All right, next item on the agenda is presentation of Council Manager Award for September 2021, which will be presented by Councilman Graber.
Thank you, Mayor.
Applause. He's still new, but.
Don't drop it. Don't drop it.
Is this your first?
This is
All right, there you go.
on the top.
I killed it.
There you go.
There you go.
That's it.
Thank you.
You're
Is this thing on? Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I have the distinct honor of presenting the Council Manager Award for September 2021 to someone who, surprisingly, has never won it, Dr. Kelly O'Brien. When I called Kelly to let her know that she'd be receiving the award, she had one and only question for me, and that was, for what? And I said, well, Kelly, I think you're about to find out. So I know that all of us who have gotten to know Kelly over the last several years understand how intentional she is in being involved with the city of Oldsmar and the community as a whole. Additionally, we can rely on not only Kelly's participation, but with the participation of her husband, Rob, and their 9-year-old daughter, Fallon.
They get applause.
In terms of service to the community, for 4 years straight, Kelly was a member of the PTO at Forest Lakes Elementary School, go Dolphins, including spending last year during COVID as the president of the organization and previously serving as the vice president of fundraising and as the correspondence secretary. This year, Kelly has been invited to serve on the school advisory committee as a parent leader. For the last 5 years, Kelly has been on the leadership team for MOPS, which is Mothers of Preschoolers, and Moms Next, which is an organization for moms with children who have kids from kindergarten through 12th grade. Within these organizations, Kelly served as a coordinator for 2 years, was also a mentor mom and a part of their publicity program. In addition to Kelly's work with schools, she is also a family ministry assistant at Bayside Church. She made me say this was only part-time. I swear. She texted me today, hey, it's only 12 hours a week. At Bayside Church, she helps with curriculum and events program planning and also teaches Sunday school. Within Oldsmar, Kelly currently serves on the board of directors for the Oldsmar Friends of the Arts and recently completed her work as a member of the city's Charter Review Committee, who are here tonight. In addition, there's very few events where Kelly and Rob and Fallon are not in attendance, including city council meetings where I believe, Fallon, you've been showing up since I think you were an infant, if I understand that correctly. So in addition to everything I just explained, as Kelly's title might suggest, Dr. O'Brien also has a day job. Dr. O'Brien is a psychologist providing testing and counseling services to children and families. She has a private practice located here in Oldsmar, and also holds sessions at the Tampa Bay Family Therapy Center. I'm going to get this right because I could not believe it when I read it. She holds a bachelor's degree in psychology, a master's degree in clinical psychology, a master's degree in education, an educational specialist degree, and a PhD in school psychology.
Wow.
So does anybody else feel undereducated?
The rest of the room raises their hand.
The focus of Kelly's work and her involvement in the community is strengthening the happiness and health of kids and families in Oldsmar. To quote Kelly, kids gain resilience, coping skills, social skills and friendships, higher academic motivation and achievement, and life satisfactions by being actively involved and by knowing that they are important, valued members of their community, end quote. I believe we can all agree that coming off the year we had in 2020 and continuing to progress through the new normal, the work that Kelly is doing with children and families is absolutely vital to our community. I now hope that all of you understand why I laughed when Kelly's only question was, for what? Having you and Rob and Fallon as part of our community should absolutely be celebrated. And as I mentioned, I was stunned when I learned that she'd never won this award before. On behalf of the mayor and city council, the city of Oldsmar as a whole, you need to know that you're winning this award. I'm trying not to, because you are you. You're an example of what active engagement in the community looks like, and we are so very fortunate to have you here in Oldsmar. Congratulations.
There you go.
Thank you.
he gave me a little taste of what he was going to say earlier, and I cried that time, and I'm crying again right now just because it's so touching to me. And I still feel like, for what? I love being a mom. I love being a neighbor and a citizen in this great city and knowing all of you. And I'm just so thankful and grateful for the accolades for just loving that stuff. So thank you to my mom, who's a beautiful woman and my example, and my family, Fallon and Rob. Fallon has been here, and she's so comfortable. She just takes her shoes off and makes herself comfortable.
Takes my chair when I'm not here, pass it up.
She does. And Jeannie is my Bayside boss. Woo-hoo. So thank you for letting me have the opportunity to help there too. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Very well deserved. I did not realize the amount of formal education and degrees you had. It was funny, everybody raised their hand, and those who didn't know what it meant, so. But congratulations, very, very well deserved. Good job.
Well done,
Now, you're
Councilmember.
losing that plebe title pretty
Well, I
quick.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm telling you,
We'll
step
get
it
there.
up.
Yeah.
All right, next item on the agenda is Community Redevelopment Agency. We have no items under that category. Next, consent docket, which will be announced by our city clerk, Ann Nixon.
Item number 3, approve removal of Michael Breton from the Veterans Advisory Board. And item number 4, approve minutes of the August 16th, 2021 operational budget work session.
Does anybody wish to pull anything? Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is City of Oldsmar, item number 5. Approve appointment of Pamela Aramolia. Did I pronounce that right? Aramolia? Aramolia. As second alternate member of the Leisure Services Advisory Board. Is Pamela here?
I don't think so.
No? All right, do we have, did we waive that requirement because of COVID?
We did for during the pandemic, yes.
All right. All right, well, normally what we do is we have somebody come in who we haven't met as a council. I don't know how anyone feels about that, but if someone wants to make a motion to approve, I believe we have her information in our packet.
I'll make a motion to approve, Mayor.
Very good. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Discussion?
Thank you for your willingness to serve, Pamela.
Pamela, we'd still like you to
Look forward to
come
meeting
and meet you.
Yeah, we'd love to meet
Correct the
you.
mayor on the way you pronounce your name.
Right.
Hard time. All right, since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Congratulations. Next item on the agenda, item number 6, approve appointment of Tatiana Cox Lopez as first alternate member of the Leisure Service Advisory Board. Is Tatiana here? Tatiana, why am I having such a hard time with that word? We have Tatiana. Tatiana. Is she here?
She was going to try to make it in time, but
She wasn't? She was trying? All right, well, the chair will entertain a motion to approve. I got one. Do I have a second? Motion and a second.
Forward to meeting you, Tatiana.
Yes.
We want you here.
Yes.
Same dance. Same dance. All right, since you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. City Attorney.
Mayor, council members, item number 7 is a public hearing for the second and final reading of ordinance 2021-24. I'll read that by title only. Ordinance 2021-24, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, amending section 5.2.1 outdoor dining of Article 5 supplemental regulations of the Town Center Development Code of the City of Oldsmar to provide for outdoor dining, using a revocable license agreement and providing for an effective date of this ordinance. That was the second final reading of ordinance 2021-24 by title only.
Thank you, City Manager. Any remarks?
No, sir.
Presentation from staff.
No, sir.
Okay, at this time, the mayor will open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this matter? Did you want to speak? Yeah. Your timing's is perfect, Rob. All right, with that, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Nope.
Graber, you have anything you want to add?
I don't. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Graber?
Yes.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Knapp?
Yes.
Councilmember Gannon?
Yes.
Mayor Sado?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-24, amending the Town Center Development Code to provide for outdoor dining using a revocable license agreement is adopted with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Item number 8.
Item number 8 is a presentation of report and recommendations from the Charter Review Committee. You'll see most of the committee members, I think all of them are here tonight in the audience. I know the chair is here. Sandy, did you want to step up and introduce the committee? And did you want to make any type of presentation, or would you like me to handle it?
Very short and sweet. I just want to thank the mayor and council for allowing me the pleasure of being chairman of the 2021 Review Committee. I would like to invite and introduce the committee. Paula Saraki was the vice chair. We have Rochelle Correa, Brian Mahoney, Kelly O'Brien, Sean Swager, and Ginger Tartazuski. This is your committee.
Thank you all.
Short and sweet. We had our first meeting on March 1st and our final was August 2nd. What we did was each one of us took an article, we delved into it, and then we presented to the committee. We had open discussion. Then, of course, Anne gathered all of her notes and put together a final report for all of us to review again, and that is the report you have before you this evening. So, thank you very much.
Very good. Does anybody have any questions? Good job. Hey, thank you to all of you. We really appreciate your work. I know you had like 5 meetings that you went through, and I love the way that the recommendations came back personally. And we'll have that more discussion on that, but that it was very clean, and I think they made a lot of sense, and they weren't over the top. It's an important, very important document. And so I know that you all took it seriously. And so on behalf of your council, we say thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excuse me?
When will you be having a council discussion on
We'll have some discussion shortly, but it's a process. I'll let him go through the process.
Is that what she's doing?
Would you like to, get a photograph? I owe you all, by the way, a Building the Vibe hat. I had them in the bag and forgot to bring them, so I'm gonna have them all mailed to you.
Hey, neighbor. How you doing?
I'll try.
You look good.
That's good.
Dress up, Mahoney.
I was surprised he came. He's like, I only do the busy stuff, man. I do the work.
Everyone smiling? Thank you, guys.
Very good.
Thank you for your time, everyone. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. So, and correct me if you want to go ahead and finish, or I can, go ahead.
I'd like to just say a couple of things. First of all, the committee worked very well together. They did take on some responsibilities, which is different than a normal committee situation. It was fairly open when we had these discussions about the charter, the need to amend or not amend the charter. I enjoy these, both the Charter Review Committee and the Ordinance Review Committee, because they put their heart into it. So I really appreciate all their hard work. Just to remind you, what will happen here then is you have the report, and we can either go through it tonight, item by item, or we can set it for a work session if you wanted to do it. There's not a whole lot to go over. Maybe we can do it tonight, maybe take 5 or 10 minutes to go through it if there are questions. Just a reminder of the process. If you decide that you want to take any one of the recommendations, if not all of them, forward, I would be preparing an ordinance. It would come back here for 2 public hearings for approval. Once those approvals are done, then it would be put on a referendum, which is going to be March of next year. If the public at large or the voters vote these particular approvals, then it would become part of your charter. If it fails, it will not become part of your charter. And so the starting point then would be to tonight go through paragraph by paragraph if you want to. How did you want to proceed,
Okay,
Mayor?
well, here's what I'd like to do. First, just out of consensus, let's just say, is there any particular item within the proposed changes that any council member wishes to discuss?
No.
I just had a process question.
Go ahead.
I was just curious, if we do move forward with these changes, how would they potentially appear on a ballot as a referendum question? Would it be section by section or one gigantic paragraph of all of the changes? Yes, no, up, down?
I would not suggest it be all one. And the reason
That's what I was
being
hoping you
is
would say.
because if one person decides, I don't like this one section,
Right.
then the whole thing fails. So I would propose they be separate ordinances, separate questions. The way it works is that there is a 15-word title, a 75-word question, and then a yes or a no. And those would be prepared in a resolution, and I would prepare that with Ann's help, and we would bring that back to you for your consideration. So you'll see the questions as we're proposing them, and you can make changes to them, but we're limited on the number of words in the title and the number of words in the question and how the question is answered. So, but that would be the process.
Okay, so here's what I'll do, since, with that feedback, thank you. What I'll do is I'll entertain a motion to approve all of the proposed changes being prepared, where we direct our legal counsel to prepare those individually. But we can approve them in one blanket motion. Or do you want us to go motion individual by individual?
If you're doing one motion tonight to prepare all the recommendations
Right,
and bring
but
them all forward, that'd be fine.
we want the recommendations broken out, so that's how they appear ultimately in the public hearing.
Yeah, we'll come back with a
The
number of
public
different.
hearing, we'd have to go one by one, I would assume.
Yes, sir. That's
Okay,
right.
all right, so I'll entertain that motion that we approve all of them as presented, and that the motion includes directing council to bring those back prepared individually.
So moved.
I have a motion by the vice mayor.
Second.
Seconded by Councilmember Graber. Discussion?
Thank you
Yeah,
all
thanks, guys.
so much.
Good job.
Thank you for your time and effort and taking it very seriously.
And I'll tell you, I thought they were very sensible changes.
Yes.
Because it's difficult, I think. Sometimes people can go over the top with it.
This is
Just my own
this is
opinion.
our framework. This
Yeah,
is
and
our
it's worked.
founding document.
And it's worked really well. Personally, I love the change from the 5-year to 10 years on the review process. I think it's such a large task that doing it every 5 years is not very practical. But in any event. All right, sensing you're ready to vote, roll call, please.
Councilmember Graber?
Yes.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Knapp?
Yes.
Councilmember Gannon?
Yes.
Mayor Seidel?
Yes.
Motion to approve all of the recommended changes to go forward for the city attorney to prepare the ordinances is approved with 5 votes for and 0 against.
She said it better than you. That was well done.
Good job.
Well done,
Good
Ann.
job, y'all. Anything else, sir? City manager, item number 9.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 9 is a public hearing to adopt Resolution 2021-16, establishing a tentative millage rate of 4.05 mils for fiscal year 2021-22. On July 20th of 2021, City Council authorized the city manager to complete the certification of taxable value indicating a proposed millage of 4.05 mils to the Pinellas County property appraiser. In August, the property appraiser mailed the truth and millage notices to all property owners, advising them of the city's proposed millage rate for fiscal year 2021-22. Proposed millage rate is equal to the previous year, which was also 4.05 mils. I'd like to read the resolution in its entirety. Resolution 2021-16, a resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, setting the tentative millage rate for the City of Oldsmar for the year beginning October 1, 2021, and ending September 30th, 2022. Whereas the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, has reviewed the proposed appropriations for the City of Oldsmar for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2021, and ending September 30th, 2022, and whereas in accordance with law, the Pinellas County Property Appraiser has certified to the City of Oldsmar a rolled back millage rate of 3.9680 mils And whereas the proposed millage rate is greater than the rolled back rate by 2.07%, and now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Oldsmore, Florida, in session duly and regularly assembled as follows. Section 1, that the City Council of the City of Oldsmore, Florida hereby sets the millage rate for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2021 and ending September 30th, 2022 at 4.05 mils. Section 2, that this resolution shall become effective immediately upon adoption. Mayor, that concludes the reading of Resolution 2021-16 in its entirety.
Do we have any staff presentation?
No, sir, other than to mention that this is the 30th year in a row that we have not raised the millage. We've lowered it a couple of times, but we have not raised it in 30 years.
Very good, very good. All right, with that, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this item? Seeing there is none, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. The chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Discussion? Thinking you're ready to vote. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Graber?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Knapp?
Yes.
Councilmember Gammon? Mayor Seidel?
Yes.
Resolution 2021-16, establishing a tentative millage rate of 4.05 mils for fiscal year 2021-22, passes with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Thank you. Item number 10.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 10 is also a public hearing to adopt Resolution 2021-17, establishing a tentative budget for fiscal year 2021-22. The proposed budget document was presented to City Council on Friday, July 16th, 2021. A budget work session was held on August 16th, 2021. Florida statutes requires a separate vote by the City Council for the adoption of a tentative budget and a tentative millage rate, and the millage rate vote, which did occur first, must occur first. Subsequent to the adoption of the tentative budget, a second public hearing must be conducted prior to the adoption of the final budget. The second public hearing for the final adoption of the millage rate and budget is scheduled for Wednesday, September 22nd, 2021 at 7 p.m. I also need to read the resolution in its entirety. Resolution 2021-17, a resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, adopting a tentative budget appropriations for the City of Oldsmar for the year beginning October 1, 2021 and ending September 30th, 2022. Whereas the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, has reviewed the proposed appropriations for the City of Oldsmar for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2021 and ending September 30th, 2022, and now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, in session duly and regularly assembled as follows. Section 1, that the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, does hereby tentatively establish the appropriations for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2021, and ending September 30th, 2022, as follows. General Fund, $15,664,350. Public Safety Impact Fund, $185,000. Parkland Dedication Fund, $130,500. Multimodal Impact Fund, $25,500. Community Redevelopment Agency Fund, $1,484,595. Debt Service for Veterans Memorial Park, $169,460. Debt Service for Harbor Palms, $316,980. Capital Improvement Fund, $4,995,000. The Water and Sewer Operating Fund, $15,897,400. The Water and Sewer Impact Fund, $942,500. Stormwater Utility Fund, $4,400,400. The Solid Waste Fund, $2,993,500, for a total budget appropriations of $47,205,185. Section 2, that all purchase orders for materials and services that remain open at year end in fiscal year 2021 are to become supplemental appropriations in the respective departmental accounts in the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2022, unless canceled. Section 3, that this resolution shall become effective immediately upon adoption. Mayor, that concludes the reading in its entirety of Resolution 2021-17.
Do we have any staff presentation?
No, sir.
All right, this time the chair will open the public comments. Open the public hearing. Any comments? Seeing none, this time I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. Chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second,
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
just to thank I just want to thank the finance team for a fabulous work session and presentation, beautiful looking budget, as well as the information contained in the document. Fabulous job. We thank you guys so much. And to the staff for really tightening their belts and making it work the past 2 years. And well, in the past 30 years, but the past 2 years especially. We appreciate you.
And also to the city manager who gave his last budget presentation. That it was dazzling.
Just ask him.
I don't even think
Dazzled.
he didn't even take a drink of water. He just went
He didn't
right through it.
right through it. You think I go fast? Brett, forget it.
You know what it was? There was no cents. It was all even dollar.
I was waiting for the last 22 cents or 30.
No,
Nope.
they rounded them up.
Rounded them up.
I think that was because of
Probably in. All right, Seth, you're ready to vote. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Graber.
Yes.
Councilmember Surratt.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Net.
Yes.
Councilmember Gannon.
Yes.
Mayor Seidel.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-17
Shulman.
establishing a tentative budget for the fiscal year 2021-22 is adopted with 5 votes for and 0 against.
Excellent. Item 11.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 11 is a request of the City Council approval of a commercial lease agreement with the Upper Tampa Bay Regional Chamber of Commerce Incorporated. Over the years, the City of Oldsmar has partnered with the Upper Tampa Bay Regional Chamber of Commerce to host public events, provide support to the local business community, and more. The renewal of this agreement is a 3-year term, effective September 1 of 2021 and expiring September 1 of 2024. Monthly lease payment will be $600 a month, plus applicable sales tax with annual CPI adjustments on the anniversary date. The Chamber of Commerce agrees with the terms of this lease and has signed the document. Staff recommends approval.
All right, this time the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item 12.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 12 is a request for council approval of an agreement with Suskey Consulting LLC for consulting and lobbying services for fiscal year 21-22. City initially contracted with Suskey Consulting LLC for consulting and lobbying services in January of 2018. As a result of the initial success of the relationship, the city renewed the agreement with the firm with additional scope of work for fiscal year 18-19 and then again for 19-20 and again for 2021. The relationship has brought substantial benefit to the city since the inception of the contract, including assistance from state appropriations and receiving $2.5 million for major projects, including the Douglas Road project. The firm will continue to provide necessary consulting and government relations services for the city before the Florida executive and legislative branches and other entities on issues related to the city's infrastructure and any other funding needs. Staff believes it is in the city's best interest to continue this established working relationship to finalize current projects and provide for a strong backdrop of support for future needs for the city of Oldsmar. The cost of the agreement will be $5,000 per month or $60,000 per year for consulting and lobbying services, with additional annual expenses not to exceed $250 a month for incidentals. Staff recommends approval.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
moved.
I have a motion. I have a second.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion.
And they do a great job. They not only for our city, but for PSTA, they do a great job.
Yeah, well, for our city, they've proved to be a really good return on investment.
60,000, 2.5 million.
I don't know. And that's not to take anything away from Senator Hooper or
Of
Representative
course.
Coster.
Jamie, Grant,
and
everybody.
Representative Sprawls, who that last appropriations, of course, goes through him. And so we've been very, very blessed, and it's a good relationship. All right, sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item 13.
Item 13, thank you, Mayor, is authorize the city manager to execute the State of Florida Division of Emergency Management American Rescue Plan Act Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund Agreement, finally.
What?
Couldn't help myself.
A little chippy over here.
As part of the American Rescue Plan Act, or what we know as ARPA, which was signed into law on March 11th, 2021, significant financial resources have been designated to assist state and local governments responding to or recovering from and defraying economic impacts of COVID-19. City Council approved the federal terms and conditions of this program as outlined by the U.S. Department of Treasury on June 15th, 2021. But since that meeting, the state's Division of Emergency Management has presented the city with the attached state-level agreement since we received the funds as a pass-through through the state, not directly from the federal government. the state has specified that the city of Oldsmore has been allocated $7,543,357 in ARPA funds, which will be paid in 2 equal tranches, one after execution of this agreement and the second within 12 months of the payment of the first. These ARPA funds will be used to assist the city in recovering from the pandemic and increase our community's resilience to future events by accelerating essential capital improvement projects as presented in the 21-22 budget and discussed at a recent council operating budget work session. Staff recommends approval.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion, I have a second.
Second.
Motion second, discussion? Pretty easy, huh?
Yeah.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Item 14.
Thank you, Mayor. Item 14 does not require any council action, but I felt it was appropriate to write this up for transparency for the community, and I'll try and be as quick as I can about it. The subject title is called Sunshine Law Violation Complaint, which was made by a citizen against the City Council. In the spirit of transparency, I wanted to report to the community that a complaint was recently filed with the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office by a citizen accusing the City Council with multiple violations of Florida's government, the Sunshine Law. The complaint was filed on August 3rd, 2021, was investigated and resolved with no finding of any criminal activity. The investigation was completed, and the complainant was advised of the findings of the sheriff's investigation on August 20th, 2021. For additional information about what the Sunshine Law is, I had compiled some excerpts from the First Amendment Foundation website, made them available to council, provide them to any member of the public who wishes to educate themselves on exactly what the Sunshine Law means, along with its intent, which is to provide the public with assurance that elected officials are not making decisions without properly including the public. The complaint specifically filed was best summarized as follows. First, the complainant cited the city's annual council planning conference, which was held on May 25th, 2021 at Armature Works in Tampa, was not properly noticed. Secondly mentioned was the decision to remove a discussion about downtown redevelopment from a previous agenda in favor of discussing it at the aforementioned workshop without public knowledge. Thirdly, the complainant cited the time frame by which the minutes of the workshop were not published timely. The Sheriff's investigation report, considered a public record for anyone to see by requesting a copy from the PCSO office or the city clerk, but I think it's appropriate to address the specifics of each complaint as the Chief Administrative Officer of the city. The first charge was about the council decision to hold the annual planning conference at a location in Tampa known as Armature Works. This was a public meeting, was noticed appropriately by the city clerk's office as required by Florida statutes. We heard that the accusation was that it was a secret meeting where city business was discussed. City business was absolutely discussed. The meeting was open to the public, as all city meetings not specifically exempted by Florida statutes are, and the complainant attended the meeting. Her very presence disproves the accusation about it being a secret meeting. Since downtown development has been such a focus of council priorities for so long now, we have held our annual planning conference meetings at various locations where council and attending staff can visualize what we hope to create with our own downtown. That has always been the objective of having the council planning session at a different location than in council chambers. The second accusation was about a decision made to remove a planned discussion item about downtown development from a regular council meeting agenda in favor of discussing it at a subsequent annual council planning conference. The agenda item cited was a discussion to be held by council about the status of negotiation progress with the proposed developer of a downtown development project. The inference in the complaint was that the purpose of removing it was to be able to discuss the issue in private, which is not accurate. The city manager, me, made the decision to remove the agenda, which was, by the way, tentative and a discussion item, meaning it required no council action, meaning no council action would be considered or required because of the large number of items on the agenda and the fact that there was nothing new to report in terms of progress with the development negotiations. The city manager prepares all council agendas, and while any council member can request that an agenda item be added, the city manager decides what items are to be presented and when. The fact that the annual council planning conference contained discussion about multiple elements of the project was not out of the ordinary, was totally appropriate, and it was open to the public. Lastly, the third accusation against the city cited a delay in the completion of minutes from the planning conference itself. The process of completing the minutes of any council meeting can be arduous, and the planning conference is an especially difficult one to complete because the meeting takes all day, so there is much to record and report. The Sunshine Law does not set out a specific time frame for completion of the minutes, other than that the time frame needs to be considered reasonable. Under these circumstances, there is nothing unreasonable about the production of those minutes taking so long, as summarizing an all-day meeting is no easy task. Additionally, the meetings were posted for approval at the July 6th meeting, which was canceled due to Tropical Storm Elsa. One also must question why that accusation was even relevant to the Sunshine Law, since it's really a complaint about staff performance, not government in the sunshine or any action taken by the council. In closing, I'd like to summarize by saying a couple of things. One, the complaint was found without merit after law enforcement investigated totally. Two, the city council and the charter officials respect and comply with their responsibilities regarding governing as the law requires, which is in the sunshine. And three, 2/3 of this complaint were really related to staff performance issues or decisions, not one that the council initiated or had any control over. Every citizen has the right to pursue any claim that they think they have against anything they see as being wrong. I can personally attest to the fact that there is no member of this council trying to hide anything, and we stand ready to defend any and all of our actions and decisions made along the way. It is clear that the downtown development process is bringing passionate opinions on all sides of the debate, regardless as to whether or not citizens like or agree with the policy decisions made by the council. Their opinions will always be welcome in the proper forum. Respectfully submitted, me.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions on that subject of the city manager? I do have one question. In full disclosure and transparency, who is the citizen who actually filed the complaint?
Citizen who filed the complaint was Pamela Settle.
Okay, thank you. You know, the only thing I want to say to this, this council and this staff works very hard to absolutely always follow all the rules. I respect when someone doesn't agree with the outcome of a decision we make. That's very different. That's a very different process that we should debate, and we do debate as evident from our last couple of meetings. But the process is always by the book. If you think something is happening that breaks the law, you absolutely should report it. As your mayor, I will tell you, and as a council member, we want you to do that. But what I would say to you is, if it's something along this lines, come to City Hall, express your concern. And I don't mean just come up and make an accusation at the podium. I mean, come into City Hall and ask, why wasn't the public notified of this meeting? And I will tell you, our city clerk or our city manager will sit down with you and show you precisely how it was, what the law and the requirements are. I will tell you there is a check and balance within our charter, okay? And here's the check and balance. The charter officials will not let the elected officials do anything that breaks the law. They won't. Likewise, as elected officials, we would not let the charter officials do anything that breaks the law. There is a built-in check and balance in that system, and it works. But do that first. If you're not satisfied with the outcome, then absolutely take it to the next step. But I don't believe that that was the case in this situation, and it's unfortunate that our sheriff's department had to invest hours, their detectives, to go look at something like this, when I believe had the process come and express your concerns, that probably would have never happened. And I will tell you that our staff here are the absolute best in following the rules and making sure that we follow the rules. I mean, there's been many times when I've tried to get ahead of myself, and they're like, "You're not doing that, Mayor. Why?" Because you can't, you know? So I just want to reiterate to our staff that I believe that our community has the utmost confidence in the fact that you follow the rules, and it's a staple of this community by virtue of the state recognition we get and so on and so forth for doing things at the upper level. So I just felt compelled to say that. And, you know, so please, if there's something you think is wrong, absolutely come and talk to the city about it so it can get addressed properly. Do you have anything else?
One last comment I
Yes.
wanted to mention. Al, I really appreciate your explanation of this and the entire way what you presented it to us. I just want to say thank you.
Good. Any other comments?
No, sir.
All right. Moving on, city clerk.
I don't have anything.
Very good. All right, city council. Item number 15, city council comments. I'm going to start with Councilmember Saraki.
All right, thank you, Eric. Mayor. I just want to reach out to Cindy. Thank you for winning another award. Great job to your team. You guys are amazing. I want to thank the city for the signs that you've been placing in East Lake Oaks about the paving. I also noticed another lighted sign today on Tampa Road saying that we had a council meeting today at 7:30. Those signs, I think, are really helping the communication in our community, and I just wanted to say thank you. I don't know whose idea that was, but it's fantastic. The Harbor Palms project is underway. The trucks are moving. I haven't really, it's down at the other south end of my street, but they're starting to get that project rolling. I'm looking forward to when they get to my property. And then the last thing I want to say is I was away for 15 days in Hawaii, and I know we're not supposed to talk about personal items, but I wanted to just say that it was the best vacation, the best relaxing time I've ever had in my entire life, and I recommend anybody going. That's all I
Very
have.
good, very good. Councilmember Graber.
Thank you, Mayor. In terms of upcoming meetings, the Firefighter Pension Board meets Wednesday at September 15th at 2 p.m. Board of Adjustment was scheduled for September 22nd, but likely to be canceled. Again, the City Council meeting is moving to Wednesday, September 22nd, and the Veterans Advisory Board meets on Monday, September 27th at 4 p.m. Happy birthday, Mayor. That's
Thank
all
you.
I have.
Thank you.
sir.
Not bad for 76, huh?
Well, I mean,
76?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Councilmember Gannon.
Thank you, Mayor. A very happy birthday to you. Congratulations to our Administrative Services and Finance team for another year of the FGFOA Award. Thank you for all of your hard work. A big congratulations to Ashley Painter, our Sustainability Coordinator, and the folks that she worked with to attain what is gold status. Now we're kind of conditioned to think the LEED, LEED certification for our buildings, for our environmental stewardship in everything from lighting to water. And we were awarded the gold status. I think out of the cities in the state of Florida, we were third behind Fort Lauderdale and Dunedin. So from out of the whole state, yeah, that's us, that's Oldsmar. So very cool, and congratulations to Ashley, and thank you for working on that. I am looking forward to the Spray Park reopening. Be sure to stop by City Hall. The Women Who Work art exhibit was to open tonight. It's incredible. It's presented by the Women's Caucus for Art. There's individual portraits on 10 by 12 canvases. They're all different. They're all beautiful. And there's a really cool interactive element where you can use an app to hold your phone up. And then the artist will tell you about themselves and the piece that they painted or constructed out of various media. It's absolutely wonderful. I look forward to seeing everyone at their swimsuits. Not really. Please don't wear your swimsuits. At the Spray Park, no. Hard stop.
Hey,
Hard stop. I will see you all in
Not in
your
Hawaii anymore.
in your quick dry appropriate clothing at Spray Park and at Second Friday.
Very
this
good.
Friday. Thank
Very
you, Mayor.
good. All right. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of things. A couple of weekends ago, I was able to attend the Leadership Pinellas Kickoff retreat. Councilmember Gannon was actually made a special appearance there as kind of a handoff from the prior class with some of the things that we'll be working on in the upcoming class. And they also had a rather entertaining skit that evening.
What happens
which
at
was-
LP stays at LP.
That's the extent of the details right there.
Till the year's over.
Also very excited about the Spray Park. I will be packing my swimwear to change into as soon as our festivities are done there.
There we go.
And really looking forward to it. I went there with on a walk with my wife and the baby, and probably was kind of teasing her, but because it wasn't working yet. But really excited about having that back open to the public. And then finally, I just wanted to touch again on Mr. Vinny's statements that were presented earlier concerning the wheeling. In the interest of full disclosure, he was speaking on behalf of my nephew, who is one of the wheelers. But he's one of the ones that just enjoys doing it for the fun. And I really hope that maybe the council at some point can consider, and maybe with leisure services, exploring the other options of where can these things be done so the kids can have fun, because they feel like, yes, it's taken away, not that we're out there writing tickets right and left to any kid that's just wheeling versus being reckless in their riding. But I think that really meant a lot for Vinny to get up there and speak on behalf of my nephew, as well as my sister. So I just wanted to say thank you again for Vinny coming to speak, and hope we can explore some things out there relative to the kids riding on the streets.
Very good.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. I do have a few things. And to that point, let me just follow on. The intent has never been to say you can't ride your bike in the street and do wheelies. That is not the intent.
No, it's not, but
It
it's
is
just kind
absolutely not the intent. It's to
Right.
say, don't be reckless and head towards cars.
Sure.
And grow around people. And to my understanding, as a rule, at least from a citizen complaint to an elected official standpoint, it's like gone way down.
Yeah.
There's never been the intent to say you can't be kids and go ride your bike.
No, no, I'm
and
talking
have fun doing
about
it.
people throwing eggs at cars, screaming obscenities at cars, coming dangerously close. Your nephew's not doing
No, no.
anything like
Yeah.
that.
And if you don't mind, Mayor, I'll handle any further discussion.
No, I
with
think
the
it's
family,
fair.
with them.
If there's concern about it, there should be more clarity.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with talking about it. Let's make sure it's clear. I think that's great. All right, a couple of things I have. Most of the things you already touched on, so I'm not going to do it again. But I think this is kind of cool and worth some celebration. I'm sure most of you are familiar with American Ninja Warriors, the program.
Yeah.
And they just finished season 13. I think it was on August 30th. But did you know that Owen Dwyer, who is the grandson of Barb Dwyer, who's lived here for 40 years, she volunteers at Oldsmar Cares, and her son Brent, who grew up here, went to Oldsmar Elementary. Brent is Owen's dad. That Owen made it all the way through all the competitions to the divisionals, regionals, whatever, I'm not sure what they're properly called, but all the way to the finals, and was a competitor out in Las Vegas at the live show, and made it all the way through it, and he has roots here in Oldsmar. And he didn't make it through, but he got there, which is a huge accomplishment. So I wanted to mention it and just congratulate Owen and the entire family. And the city of Oldsmar is proud of you.
Yeah,
Give them a round of
that's
applause.
cool. That's cool.
And so congratulations. Melody Engel, who has a business here. I have all these feel-good stories tonight.
I like
You
that.
know, you like that?
I like that.
She has a business here, Advanced Data Solutions, here in Oldsmar. They've been here for over a decade. And it was just recently, she made it in the World Spearfishing Competition on the U.S. team to represent the U.S. in Italy, and she joins the team as captain. And so another outstanding, she actually lives in Tarpon, so I had to tell Mayor Chris about it, share a little, but her business is here. And so we wish her well and congratulate her as well. So give her a round of applause. Last two things I have is thank you for all the birthday wishes. Turning 80 is tough.
Wow, it's happening
And
fast now.
go Bucks. Go Bucks. All right.
That's true.
Go Bucks. They start this week. And don't forget Second Friday. It should be fun. All right, item number 16. Is there anybody who wishes to pull anything from the tentative agenda? Saying not, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the tentative agenda as presented.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Sensing you're ready to vote, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Doesn't require a vote. We're adjourned.
You won.